Now, back to your turn on 1330 WEBY, Northwest Florida's talk radio. The phone lines are open, so call in and join the conversation at 623-1330.
You are back. Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups and his special guest and Canadian correspondent, Mike Shoesmith. Now, here's Carl and Mike.
Well, it's actually Mike and Mike Bates and Mike Shoesmith, the Canadian correspondent for Freedom Friday. Mike Shoesmith, welcome to Freedom Friday.
Well, it's a pleasure to be speaking with you again, Mr. Bates. What an honor. Hey, listen, I heard your analysis of the Bill Clinton speech in the first half hour, and well done on that regard. I'm going to be blogging that as soon as the audio becomes available in the podcast section of your website. But listen, I got my own analysis of I listened to most of the speeches from the DNC, and listen, the flavor of communism was tangible in almost every speech. But listen, the Bill Clinton speech, one sentence in that speech summed it all up as far as the intentions of the Democrat Party and the Obama regime, and it was the sentence that stuck out like Jerry Falwell at a gay pride parade. And here's the sentence itself. This is Clinton speaking. He says, "Now, but he has laid the foundations for a new, modern, successful economy of shared prosperity. And if you will renew the president's contract, you will feel it. You will feel it." Those are the words of former President Bill Clinton. Listen, Barack Obama has laid the foundations. Wait a minute. You know, exactly what country is he referring to here? Doesn't the U.S. already have foundations laid by founding fathers? I mean, doesn't the U.S. have a constitution which lays out the clear foundations on which the country is to be built? Well, I mean, he might be forgiven for that, so let's read on for context here. Clinton continued with, quote, "for a new." A new? Clearly this implies that there was something wrong with the old, does it not? I mean, Clinton admits that Obama is rebuilding America in his own image, as you'll see. He continued with the word modern. So the American way of life is antiquated and outdated and past its prime. So it's time for a new, modern America built on new foundations, forged and sculpted by the Anointed One himself. Let's continue here. Successful. Again, the implication here is that the long-held gold standard for economic prosperity, the American economy, which has single-handedly propped up the world's economies for 70 years, was unsuccessful. And so Barack Obama, according to Bill Clinton, is tearing down the old guard and building an entirely new economic system on entirely new foundations. Now comes the clincher, Mike, a dog whistle moment, if you will. Quote, "shared prosperity," unquote. Now, in order to get the complete context of those two words, one must conflate the words of other Democrat socialist operatives within the party. Addressing a Democrat fundraiser in June 28, 2004, Senator Hillary Clinton, Democrat New York, told wealthy supporters the government will need to take money away from them for the, quote, "common good," unquote, a direct quote from Karl Marx himself. And most recently, Governor Cuomo, you're not going to believe this one, Governor Cuomo of New York State reiterated the communist sentiment within the Democrat Party, saying, quote, "individual success is not enough. The sweetest success is shared success. Communism, is possible." That's what Governor Cuomo said last month. So it really is safe to conclude that sharing the wealth through forced involvement by government mandate, i.e. communism, is a prominent tenet in the Democrat Party, and the foundations for this government system are being poured by Obama himself. Now, finally, according to Bill Clinton, if the Obama regime is given 4 more years, he says, quote, "you will feel it." One can only imagine what that could possibly mean, right? I mean, when Slick Willie says you will feel it, you may not want to imagine what that means. What do you think?
Well, I could go to several funny one-liners, but I'm going to show some restraint and not.
Hey, listen, breaking news out of Canada today. We'll end with this. Whenever a war is pending, one of the last things that governments do is pull their ambassadors out. Breaking news today out of Canada. Canada just pulled their ambassador out of Iran today. That whole thing is going to get hot and heated, folks. That's going to be a big one. It's going to be an ugly one. P.P. Simmons, wherever there's an internet connection, and God bless you guys down in Florida, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, Mike Shoesmith, the Canadian correspondent for Freedom Friday, thank you for joining us today on the Freedom Friday edition of Your Turn. We got a break now. Go to the news. When we get back, we will continue the conversation, probably with Jeffrey Cooner, Washington Times correspondent. And then bottom of the hour, it's going to be an open forum, and we will discuss whatever it is you wish to discuss. And we'll definitely cover the GM is alive lie told by the Democrats in Charlotte. Wait till you hear the truth about that one. All of that coming up on the Freedom Friday edition of Your Turn on 1330 WEBY.